It's deadline day. The deals are done and the rumours are over. Welcome to SPFL Extra.
Right, so let's get down to business. First of all, only place to start, like we do quite a few times, champions, and a big departure on this deadline day.
Yeah, it was always going to happen.
A lot of money, big money move for Virgil Van Dijk. If you haven't gathered that, so we're talking about Virgil Van Dijk leaving Celtic for £11.5 million.
It's a huge amount of money. 2-point-something million for Groningen a few seasons ago, and they've really got their money's worth out of him. It's exactly what Celtic have to do with players like him.
Cashing in at the right time, I think. Virgil van Dijk's playing really well. You know, everyone's garnering loads of interest from lots of different teams. Southampton were the ones that picked him up.
He scored more goals than half the teams in the bottom six last season by himself. I mean, like, he's a centre back. He's productive. He's good going forward. I mean, we can talk about
a centre back who loves the ball at his feet.
If this was a general football show, we could talk about whether he'd do well at Southampton, and I have a lot of opinions on that. But it's SPFL Extra, and Celtic have done brilliantly with that. It's a good deal, it's fantastic, and they've replaced him. Jozo Simunovic from Dinamo Zagreb, relatively young.
Yeah, 24 is it?
Something like that. He's never played for Croatia yet though, his national side. He's Croatian. He's never played for them yet. He has played for all other youth levels, but we don't know anything about him.
But he wasn't the only one they replaced him with. They also got Tyler Blackett,
who has played quite a few times for Man United.
Actually played quite a few times for Man United. And
most people have seen him.
Reminds me maybe a bit of Jason Denayer, came in from Man City on loan, played very well for a year. Like, it could be that sort of thing. That could be maybe what Celtic fans are looking for.
One interesting thing that you said about Simunovic earlier to me was that the deal is in the same ballpark as the most recent time they spent this amount of money was on Scott Brown.
Yeah, and that was a long time ago on the transfer from Hibs. That was the last time they spent this kind of money, which, you know, to me it's
a lot more than they spent for Virgil.
It's startling to think that Celtic have brought in so many brilliant players for so little. Think about other players who have left on a lot of money, like Wanyama left for like £12 million as well, came in for less than £1 million, I think it was. So it's a little bit of a risk from Celtic, and I think, but you know, if the star quality is there, if he's a player, if he's worth that amount of money, then who knows what they could be selling him for in a couple of years.
One player Celtic have signed that we do know how good he is Ryan Christie. Ryan Christie came in for about £500,000 from Inverness, and they're loaning him back to Inverness for the season. But Celtic are likely to use a recall option in January, but that's not decided on yet. But we know about Ryan Christie, we've seen him play, we've talked about him on the show, we think he's exciting, we weren't using that in terms of Inverness. Is he worth it?
I don't see him being at the level to get into that squad now, and I don't know if he'll be the kind of level to get into that squad even in that 6 months, maybe the year they're giving him, possibly, but you never really know. It'll be interesting to see sort of if he can kick on at the same level with the same sort of passion for Inverness while he's got this he's not actually contracted them anymore.
Scott Allen's another one who moved to Celtic this summer. It's another player is moving from a kind of lower reputation Scottish club, and we just don't know how well he's going to fare at these clubs.
Scott Allen's got a lot of talent. I think watched him at Hibs for a year. Like he was really good. Like I used to think he was like so tricky and just like had so much like playmaker about him, but when Celtic have the players that they have, is he going to get enough football? Is he going to get enough like first team real action? Like he came on recently against Dundee United, didn't get that much of a grip in the game, not very long left, only about half an hour.
Exactly.
I hope that doesn't continue. I hope he gets a fair shot.
Another big deal that's gone through is Billy McKay.
I think it's a good acquisition. If he's playing for Dundee United, which he is, which he's going to play for,
they needed
it's
that.
Good.
They needed that.
Yeah, they've not kicked on well the start of this season. They've in fact since maybe January of last year they've really not done. They've not really been half a shell of the team that they were. So I'm hoping that if he can produce like he did when he was first up here, that'll be a great signing.
Dundee United fans can only be pleased with that deal. Billy McKay is a proven goal scorer. You've got to be pleased with him. Another striker, young striker this time, that's on the move is Robbie Muirhead, and he's gone on loan to Partick Thistle. Now, I think Robbie Muirhead's got a bit of talent. I'll be real with Partick Thistle fans here. I think this has been a bad transfer window. An exciting player last season in Calling Higginbotham is out the door, and he's gone to Killie. And I'm praying for you, Callum. I hope you have a decent season with those boys. Partick Thistle are known for developing good young players, and they've got a lot of them in the club right now. And Robbie Muirhead's just another young player who's got a point to prove. Exciting player. We've seen him score goals in the SPFL. Now we're going to move to Sainties, because there has been late transfer moves. Well, and Sainties are all too known for having big, lumbering fullbacks who play a tactical game and don't really get forward too much. So Tommy Wright's gone, no, I've had enough of that. I'm going to sign an exciting young boy who's going to get up the wing, and that's Darnell Fisher from Celtic. He's not Brian Easton. He will get forward. He will try and be exciting.
Exciting prospect adding to that Saints team that's lacked a bit of excitement at times. But let us move on to my team now, Hibs. And Hibs have also had some last minute action, bringing Islam Feruz from Chelsea.
Oh, if he's played for Chelsea, he must be good.
Yeah, what my dad said to me when Yves Makalambi joined the club. Let's just not get into that and how that turned out. So we brought him in on loan alongside Liam Henderson, who we've got in on loan as well. And he got an assist at the weekend to another new player, Keatings. Feruz with me, he's an unknown quantity. He comes from Chelsea. There must be a reason he was at Chelsea, so I'm hoping that he can score goals in for Hibs, and hopefully that gives us Cummings, Keatings and Feruz up top with Malonga and Faradell. That's a proper strike force now.
But I am in absolutely no doubt of what team has had the overall best summer signings.
Hibs.
Not the Hibbies. Not the Hibbies.
One country.
No. Rangers and Mark Warburton have been absolutely brilliant. Nobody has been better than James Tavernier.
Yeah, I know you're a massive fan of his, and I like me to a lesser extent. You know, it's one of the players that I see who's the biggest danger. Sometimes, obviously, against Hibs, he's punished us twice already.
I adore the
So he's a brilliant player. As much as it pains me, I do have to agree with you like how good Rangers have been. Tavernier and Waghorn and such, and Halliday, and losing
Jason
players
Hall.
like Chris Boyd, who I think is not exactly like what they were needing anymore. He's like, look at what Tavernier is doing on that flank. He's just bombing down. He plays with like such freedom. It's total freedom.
And as Conor says, I am genuinely like a huge fan. I'm using every resource I've got to find out if Tavernier has got any Scottish blood in him. Hearts have restructured their team a wee bit. They let go of a few strikers such as James Keatings, who's moved to Hibs and stuff like that. But
if we're talking Heart strikers, we've got to talk about Juan Madelgado. He's already got quite a few goals behind him, and some of these goals are the kind of goals you see a player like that scoring, and you take note. There was that one, the one he scored against Partick Thistle, the third goal, where it was just pace and strength.
Aberdeen's 100% record remains, and a lot of that is to do with having an experienced, smart, intelligent back four, and one of the integral parts of that is Graeme Shinnie.
Yeah, Graeme Shinnie's come in and he's just come in, fitted the system straight away. Sometimes you see when players move to clubs, you need a bit of time to sort of get the tactics down and get to know who they're playing with. He's just come in and it looks like he's been playing in that team for multiple seasons. There's not been any like falters between him and teammates. It's been sort of like he's just come in and fit the system perfectly, and I think it's much to Aberdeen's credit and the way that they run that team.
Obviously we get flack from you guys every week for not covering every possible thing, but there was just not enough time to cover the number of transfers that have gone on. So if you guys have any insight into what you think the best transfer dealing has been, drop us a comment, leave a comment below, let us know who you think, who's your team's best. So last week we asked for your comments and your questions, and you responded in fantastic fashion. Our first question comes from Dylan Burnett, who says, can Aberdeen beat Celtic on the 12th? And can they win the title? A game of football is a game of football. Anyone can beat anyone on their day. That's what makes the game so brilliant. But I think Aberdeen stand a good chance of beating them. They're going to take the game to them, I hope, and not sit back too much or anything like that. Will Aberdeen win the league? No, I don't think they will. I don't think anyone in Scottish football can confidently say or can genuinely assert that anyone other than Celtic is going to win the title with any real confidence. I don't fancy the Celtic team to beat most Celtic teams past if they played games. I think we'll genuinely have a very, very, very exciting title race. You never know. Football's an interesting thing. One thing's for sure, we will all have our eyes glued to that game. I think Aberdeen are a genuinely top team right now. A danger to Celtic. A definite danger to Celtic. Our next question comes from Liam Carlian, who says he probably knows Conor's answer to this question, but does he think that Hearts have a realistic title challenge, and can they beat Celtic, or are they just too strong?
I did reply to the comments, people can have a look, and I have to say with this one, I think, again, it's Celtic's strength and depth that are going to get them there this season. Like to echo a little bit of what we've said though, it's going to be tight. Celtic aren't at their best by any means. This Hearts team playing brilliantly. Talking to...
They lost to Hamilton.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Said this comment before, put my comment before the Hamilton game. Now, obviously, I lost to Hamilton, they've lost a 100% record. I think this is going to be a huge moment for that Hearts team, that young Hearts team that's not used to losing. Then now, how do they bounce back?
Hearts are the third place team in that run. They are.
I would say so.
They are. They've got the talent and all that. So we're not doing down Hearts or anything like that. But
the answer to the question is, I don't think they can win the league.
Hearts can't win the title. No.
Conor Ferrigan, you're in off the pitch at Almonvale now. Can you tell us why?
At the end of the day, the sun goes down and it gets dark. Can I see?
And that's exactly why we are inside the bowels of Almonvale now, and the reason is because it genuinely gets dark,
pitch black.
We can't see anything out there.
So now Jake Morgan speaks for all of us, I think, when he says that he doesn't like your haircut.
Right, that is mean. That is mean.
I mean, it's true.
I quite like it. I think it's quite nice. You said earlier it's quite nice to pet. It's quite nice to pet. I did ask you to leave your comments. Absolutely no one left comments saying they liked it.
Cuts you deep.
Kind of heartbroken.
Yeah.
It hurts. You know. Our next comment comes in from Jake Pierce, who says, "How far can the Pars go in the cup after beating Dundee?"
Well, I mean, they've got Dundee United to play away from home. It's going to be definitely going to be a tough game in the Premiership opposition. But if Faisal Al-Baitoui can continue up his scoring, who knows how far they can go?
I think a couple more rounds, maybe, if they beat Dundee United. You never know. Fatty Watch. Oh yes, another episode of Fatty Watch. And Metalson says, because Fatty hasn't found a club yet.
It's alright. It's okay. Free transfers and signings.
Transfer windows might be over for some people, but not over for Fatty.
He can still sign for a club.
Metalson says he hopes Fatty doesn't find another club because then Fatty Watch will be over. Let me just tell you, Metalson, that would only exaggerate Fatty Watch. If Fatty played 5 minutes, I would give you a detailed rundown of every 20-second segment and how Fatty was moving, how he was looking, whether he stroked his hair, whether he has any hair left. Jake Morgan, who commented earlier about my hair, and there's a very serious comment there, has left us another serious comment, and he told us that Fatty has a pet rhino, though this is a revelation that we were not expecting.
I mean, he can learn from that pet rhino and the way it charges through defenders. Now all that's left is to make sure that if you don't want to miss any of our videos, you subscribe up here
to the SPFL YouTube channel just by clicking there. Thank you very much, you guys. Have a lovely week, have a lovely deadline day, and we'll see you soon.
Bye guys.